So the big question is this: how are little guys like us who are undersized, overpowered, and totally outmuscled, how do we roll in a way that allows us to survive and thrive against the biggest guys in our gym? That's the question, and this channel will give you the answer. My name is Brandon Gross, and welcome to David vs. Goliath BJJ.
What's up, Giant Slayers? Brandon here from David vs. Goliath BJJ. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 tips to not be that guy in your gym. So if you want to avoid being that guy at your gym that nobody likes, then keep on watching. Alright guys, diving right in. Tip number 1, stop being aggro. Well, what is aggro? Aggro is going 100% all out all the time. It's uncontrolled or out of control movement. But sometimes when you're new, you don't even know you're aggro. So how do you know if you're being aggro? Well, either you're frequently hurting others, you yourself are getting hurt a lot, or your training partners are telling you so. So stop being over aggressive and treating every roll like it's a life or death situation, and learn to tone it down a notch or two. Which leads me to tip number 2, which is to stop doing dick moves. Well, what's an example of a dick move? This could be intentionally or unintentionally dropping knees or elbows, grinding your forearm over your partner's face all the time, repeatedly trying to cover someone's mouth, maybe going for the rape choke with 2 hands, or maybe headlocking somebody and trying to pull their head off. These are not legit submissions for the most part. Now, there is a time and a place for some of these moves. For example, when your opponent or your training partner is playing super tight defense and you're just trying to open them up a little bit. Or if you have a mutual agreement with another training partner and you guys always go hard. Otherwise, if you're doing these moves, you guys are most likely giving your partners unnecessary bruises, gi burns, and ultimately just pissing them off. Which leads me to tip number 3, you guys, which is to stop cranking submissions. If you don't want to be known as that guy, then stop yanking on Americanas or Kimuras or ferociously pulling on arm bars. Now, if it's a competition match, then yeah, go for it 100%. But if it's a normal training session in your gym and you want your partner to show up the next day, then don't. A better way to do it is to know when you have a submission and slowly ease into the pressure until they tap. Or to just hold on to the submission and give your partner the look to let them know that you got it. And that leads me to tip number 4, you guys, which is to stop rolling with women only. There was a guy in our gym a few years back and he would only roll with the ladies. At first, nobody really cared or thought it was a big deal until he started rolling really hard with them. During class one day, our instructor caught him doing knee on belly to one of our female training partners over and over and over again. And he was just going way too hard on her. Then my instructor asked one of our purple belts to go over and roll with him with the same intensity that he was rolling with her, to kind of give him a taste of his own medicine and to let him know what it felt like to be on the receiving end. And let's just say we never saw that guy ever again. Now, I'm not saying don't roll with women, but if you're a dude and you're only rolling with women, there's something suspicious about that. Now, there's really great female athletes who train jiu-jitsu. And so when it comes to rolling with women or just rolling with training partners in general, a good training partner will roll at a level that's just 1 stripe ahead of where you are. So for example, if I'm rolling with a brand new white belt, and I'm gonna try and roll like I'm a 1-stripe white belt. Don't just completely flop all over the place and not try at all against women because they don't like that either. Be a good training partner and try to match their intensity or train 1 stripe ahead of where they are. Alright guys, and that leads me to tip number 5, which is to stop trying to teach everyone. Let your instructors do the teaching, that's his or her job. And if you're brand new, aka a white belt, my advice is to stop trying to teach higher ranked guys. It just makes you look a little foolish. I'm not saying don't help or don't teach at all, because even if you're relatively new, you still might know a little bit more than Joe who just walked in that day. If Joe asks you a question and nobody else is around, yeah, don't leave him hanging. Try your best to help him out in that moment. But what's even better would be to say, hey, good question, let's ask coach about it and defer back to your instructor. Again, because that's why he's there. To sum it up guys, what this video ultimately comes down to is valuing your training partners and showing them respect. Not trying to purposely hurt anyone, and realizing that your training partners are the single greatest asset that you have in the gym and encouraging you to treat them as such. Alright guys, there you have it, how not to be a BJJ dick. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give that like button a slap and a fist bump. And let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions on future video topics. And if you guys want more videos on how to survive and thrive against the biggest guys in your gym, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you stay in the loop choke and you don't miss out on weekly videos. Thanks for watching guys, keep slaying your giants on and off the mat. I remember victory always tastes better when you're the underdog.